Marjorie passed away 3 years ago in her sleep. She was my everything, and I miss her like crazy. The kids both moved out at 18. Carol went to college and Austin left to the Marines. It was hard letting my kids go be adults. I cherished every minute and moment of their childhood. I loved my life as a dad and a husband. Once our house became an empty nest, Margie and I worked, traveled, and pursued many hobbies. We golfed together, went to Sunday service at church, and to buffets. We even went thrifting together, and when we retired, we bought a trailer and traveled the U.S. We've seen it all. We've done it all. I was happy. But in the back of my mind, I knew someday one of us would leave the earth first. I would have rather it been me or even us at the same time, but death doesn't always work that way. They say some couples who have been married as long as us, 35 years, the surviving half would die of a broken heart, but I didn't. I survived. I survived my broken heart, but I didn't survive the death that happened inside of me. To cope, I visited friends, family, and spent time with Carol and the kids. Or I went out to Cali to hang with Austin. I tried to stay with people for as long as possible, but I knew someday I would have to go back home to my big, lonely, cold house. I didn't want to be alone. I was deathly afraid of being alone. I'm not sure if it stemmed from my stepfather locking me in the attic for weeks on end as punishment for trivial things, or being lost for hours alone at the amusement park when I was only 7. I'm not sure when it happened, but I hated being alone. So much that I kidnapped 2 women. I asked this woman named Teresa, who was with her daughter Megan, who was only 21, for directions in the grocery store parking lot before heading back home. I threatened them with my gun and told them not to scream and to get into my trailer. I feel bad. I feel guilty. They're locked up in the soundproof basement I built for a time like this. I knew of the possibilities, so I wanted to be prepared. You see, I don't mean them any harm, but I'm deathly afraid of being alone. I'm so scared that I piss myself. I shake and tremble. I can barely breathe. I just need companionship. I know they're scared, but in time, I hope they will adjust. They're pretty much upset, but I can't fathom being in this house alone. I'll feed them well and give them books to read, but here they will stay, tucked in their forever new home in my basement until my dying day. When that day comes, Carol and Austin will read the notes and my letter of apology that's tucked in the safe deposit box with my last will and testament. That phobia is called autophobia. Autophobia, the fear of being alone.